Today we will learn about some DDL commands. DDL commands stands for Data Definition Language Commands. These are a set of SQL commands which are used to define and modify the structure of your database or table. Okay. Now think this as a blueprint of your own data, but please make note that this is not these commands are not used for interaction. Okay, they do not create data, rather they create the structure for your data, that is either your database or table. Okay, so for the very first command we always start off is the creation. Okay, so the creation command is also known as create. We start off with the syntax. If we want to create a database, we have to state the keyword called database, and then we have to give the name of the database. Let's say we have my database as a name. We have to always end our command with a semicolon. Please note that if you want to create a database, you should not have any space in between the database name. For example, we cannot treat it like this because the different words may be used in your keyword in your database name are maybe the keywords or the commands. Here, where when I put the space in my database, the database itself is a keyword. So, if you want to add space for the readability purpose, you can use underscore instead of space. This same process can be used for the creation of your table as well. Okay, whichever name or including your column names as well. Whatever names you are adding, please make sure that it should always have underscore instead of space. Okay, so let's assume that we have created this. So to run this particular command, we can select this particular command and click on this flash button, and we got the message that it has been created with a successful tick mark. Now, how we can check? There are two ways to check whether your database has been created. Okay, so database says semicolon, and we can just select it and run it. Now we can see that our database has been created. There's another way where we can see it. So as you can see, under the navigator, we have two tabs. One is administration. The second one is schemas. Now for schemas, we click on that. You just have to refresh it if it is not visible for you. We can see that my database has been created. Okay. Now to use any database, we have to start off with a keyword called use, and then we can start off the name of the database, my database. Please note that if you are using the word or the command use, you should not follow that with the database as a keyword. You can directly give the name of the database. Okay, here we have used the word database, my database. So we just need to run this particular command, and it has been done. Now we can create the table inside this. Now for creation of table, I'm just showing you in the comment. Now if you want to add any comments for the readability purposes, sometimes you have to document your whole query. So for understanding, you comment that. This is a very common practice which is there in the development field. So we always use hash for adding any comments. So I'm just showing you how can uh, what is the syntax of creation of the table. So we can use create table. These two words create as a command, a TTL command, table as a keyword. Then you have to give the table name. Okay, I'm just putting that, and post that you have to give a bracket. Inside the bracket, you have to give the column name. Post that you have to give its data type, and then you can also give constraint. And to separate each column, you have to give it with a comma. Okay, for next column, then its data type, then again the constraint. Please note that it is not necessary to have uh, the constraint every time. If you want to put any constraint, then you can add it. But it is very necessary to provide the data type of it. Okay, so the column name and data type are very essential while creation of the database, and the necessary constraint which you want to apply onto it. Okay, it is not necessary to apply constraint in every column. Rather, you can keep it to those columns whichever or wherever it is necessary. Now, if you the commas are used for separation or to provide the next column. Okay. Now, once it is done, you can close the bracket and you can press enter. Okay. But here, since it is just a command, it will not run. Okay. As you can see, if I just try to run, it will not run. It will run the previous command. Okay. So that means this is a command. Okay. Now let's create it. Create table. Let's create an table name called employees. Bracket open. Employee ID. Data type can be integer. Um, I can put this as my primary key. Now, to put your constraints, we have two methods. One is you can directly provide it over there. Okay, we have to put primary key, comma, and let's say department name. See, we are getting an error, so put underscore where is under size 10, and we can say not null. And we can have put another one, let's say employee name. Again varchar 10, 20, or we can just swap it over here. Okay, semicolon, select this whole tab, press enter. Now it has been created. Now if you refresh it over here, under tables, you can find employees with each column. Okay. As we learn much more in details, I will tell you how we can even write the constraints. Okay. For time being, we're writing in this way.